Advanced algebraic expansion. We want to expand the following brackets. Now, if we expand pairs of brackets where there's two things in each bracket, we have to do 4 different multiplications. There are various different techniques that ensure that you do all 4 multiplications required. I'm just going to go through one because I don't want it to be confusing, and I'm going to teach you the crab claw. So the first multiplication done is this one. W times y, we know, is wy. Then we do this one. We have w multiplying a positive z, so that's plus wz. The next one done is this one, positive x times a positive y, so plus xy. And then finally this one, positive x times a positive z, so plus xz. In this case there's no simplifying that we can do from here. All the terms are distinct. You can see why we call this the crab claw. Look at the shape that we've made here. So let's apply that here. So we've got p, and we're multiplying by 2s. So that's going to be 2ps. Remember, we're doing p and we're multiplying it by 2 by s. So algebra means that we bring the number to the front, we lose the multiplication signs, and although it's not strictly necessary, we put the letters into alphabetical order. When we do this, notice this is a positive p, this is a negative 3t, so it's going to be a minus 3, and p comes before t. For this one, q comes before s, so it's going to be 2qs, and that one's going to be positive because we're doing a positive times a positive. And then finally, positive times a negative, so this one's going to be a minus 3qt. Once again, we've got no like terms, so we can't simplify this any further. So moving to this next one, 7x just multiplied by 3 is going to be 21x. 7x multiplied by negative 2z, so 7 times negative 2 is negative 14, and then x comes before z. For this one here, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, and the only letter there was a y. Then when we do this one, we've got a negative times a negative, so that's going to be positive. 2 times 2 gives us 4, and we have y times z, so yz. Once again, all terms are different. We have no like terms, so we can't put any terms together. Here we get 10ac positive times a negative, so minus 4a. Positive times positive, so this one's going to be a plus 5bc. And then finally this one here, positive times a negative, so minus, and just 2b, and no like terms. Now with this next batch of examples, we're doing much the same thing, but we are going to start getting like terms, which means that we're going to then simplify after the expansion. So looking at this one, we get x times x, which of course is x squared. X times a positive 2, so that's plus 2x. Positive 5 times x, so plus 5x. Positive 5 times a positive 2 is plus 10. Now if you look at the two middle terms, they're like terms, just a number of x's. 2x's add 5x's gives us 7x. So that's x squared plus 7x plus 10. Now we'll do the same thing with this one. So x times x is x squared. X times a negative 4 minus 4x. Negative 7 times x minus 7x. Negative 7 times negative 4 is plus 28. The middle terms, once again, we can combine. So we have x squared minus 11x plus 28. So now we have 2x multiplied by 2x. 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared. 2x times a positive 3. So that's going to be plus 6x. Negative 3 times 2x, so that's minus 6x. And negative 3 times 3, so that's minus 9. Now, a positive 6x, take away 6x, means no x's. So we just get 4x squared minus 9. This is an important expansion pattern. Notice that each bracket has 2x and each bracket has 3. So we have the same thing in each bracket, except for the sign in between. So it's of the form a plus b, a minus b, or it doesn't matter the other way around, a minus b, a plus b. And that will always give us a squared minus b squared. It's called the difference of two squares, and you'll come across it often. Now we have 2a minus b all squared. Remember, when we square something, we're multiplying it by itself. So 2a multiplied by 2a is going to give me 4a squared. 2a times negative b is minus 2ab. Negative b times 2a is minus 2ab. Negative b times negative b is plus b squared. So we have 4a squared. The two middle terms are like terms. Minus 2 gives us minus 4ab's, and then we have the plus b squared on the end. Now, 7x multiplied by 3 is going to be 21x's. 7x multiplied by negative 2x, so positive times a negative is going to be a negative. 7 times 2 is 14. X times x is x squared. That's going to give us plus 12. And that's going to give us minus 8x. So this time, it's this term and this term which are like terms. So 21 take away 8 is 13, so that's going to be 13x minus 14x squared plus 12. Now normally we either give the answer going x squared x number, or in this case, since the x squared is negative, I might do number, which is 12, plus 13x minus 14x squared. So in this case we go down in powers of x, x to the 0, x to the 1, x squared, and usually we go x squared, x to the 1, x to the 0, or just the number at the end. But it's nice to have them in order rather than jumbled. Now, 3 brackets. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the first bracket alone for the moment. And then I'm going to expand the other bracket. So I get x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 6. Let's tidy that one. So the x plus 1, remember, I haven't touched yet. And I'm just going to write that a little further down. So let's just put it down here a little bit. And then tidying here, positive 3, take 2, so that's just plus a single x. Remember, we don't write 1x. Now, we have 2 brackets, but there are 2 things in this bracket and 3 things in this bracket. So we're going to need a slightly different pattern. We have to actually do 6 multiplications. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, then this, then this. So that gives me a super crab claw. So x times x squared is x cubed. Then x times a positive x is plus x squared. X times a negative 6 is minus 6x. Then I'm going to do the same sort of thing with the 1. So plus 1 times x squared is plus x squared. I'm deliberately writing these below. Plus 1 times x gives me a plus x. The positive 1 times a negative 6 is minus 6. And then I just need to tidy up with the like terms. So x cubed, and then I've got 2x squareds. Negative 6x add x is negative 5x, and then the negative 6 on the end.